the narrative exploding.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of the actual narrative exploding, we have this other story here, Alex Berenson. Yeah. So Elon Musk tweeted to Alex Berenson, a journalist, "Can you say more about this, quote, pressures that the government may have placed on Twitter?" This is interesting. Alex Berenson is a journalist. He was tweeting about vaccines, very skeptical and talking about a lot of the data. And then he got suspended. He filed a lawsuit. He won. Nobody expected this to happen because everyone believes that when you get banned from Twitter or whatever, that you file a lawsuit and then it gets thrown out. Most of his suit did get thrown out, but I think there was breach of contract, which persisted. So Alex says, "I wish I could, Elon Musk, but the settlement with Twitter prevents me from doing so. However, in the near future, I hope and expect to have more to report." On a Substack post, talking about how he got his account back, he says, "I need to add one thing. The settlement does not end my investigation into the pressures that the government may have placed on Twitter to suspend my account. I will have more to say on that issue in the near future. I made a promise to readers last month, and I take my promises to readers seriously." Alex Berenson seems to have some kind of information that the government is actively pressuring Twitter to engage in censorship.
Better watch out.
If Elon Musk takes this company over, it's going to be really interesting to find out what happens. But how much do you want to bet? Say it's October. Elon Musk, all the news happens. Elon Musk now owns Twitter. Then someone immediately says, "Okay, Elon, what was going on?" And he goes, "I can't talk about it." How much do you want to bet?
Well, if everyone, I don't know how many people read what he was talking about last month, but last month when he discussed this on his Substack, he said, "Look, I think we're getting close to an agreement, basically, but any agreement I make, I promise, will not exclude me from being able to make this public, anything we may find in discovery surrounding this issue." And I think the reason for that, or why it's important, is because that gets to the crux of it. And we had those whistleblowers come out with the Disinformation Governance Bureau, whatever they were calling it, where initially the government said they weren't really policing everyone's misinformation. This was only going to be targeting Russian disinformation and security stuff. But that wasn't true. So if the government, I'm not a lawyer, but if from what we hear from others, and Viva and Robert talk about this a lot, that's the linchpin. So if they were pressuring these social media companies, that opens up a whole new Pandora's box.
This is what really bugs me about a lot of this, is that Alex he made a First Amendment claim, and the judge was like, "You have no First Amendment claim because it's a private company doing it." Yeah. Not true. We do know there was a story out of California. I think it was Judicial Watch that exposed this. Democrats were making requests on who they wanted censored.
Right.
These are government actors going to a private company and using them as a cudgel. So we need a court to come in on First Amendment grounds, and we need that information. How do you navigate this? When we know they're doing it, but the courts are like, well, it's a private company. Yeah. It's like, yes, how do we get the investigation to show the government is going in and telling them to do these things? How do we get that information?
I guess. Oh, go ahead.
A whistleblower is coming out, honestly.
That's what I was going to say.
Be brave. Go to Project Veritas.
Yes.
Or some organization like Veritas, but Veritas is a great one, yeah.
That's Chuck Grassley, Senator Grassley from Iowa, how they got it there. That was government coming out and doing that. The private companies and Project Veritas is great. If I was working at one of those, they would be at the top of the list because they've been doing so much of this. But yeah, I don't see any reason why you couldn't go to a lawmaker as well. I mean, eventually this has to be fixed.